What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. Alright, so what we got going on today? We're about to check out a new casual geographic. Your boy has dropped a new one. This one's called The One Rule of Nature School Never Taught You.
A lot, actually.
School, depending on what school you go to, it probably didn't teach you much of anything. I'm saying the school system sucks.
The quadratic formula. Shut up. Stop that.
Oh man, but let's see what angle he's going in on this one. Let's see what he's got going for us today. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Hello.
I still don't know what that is, and I've seen that video.
Like, what the hell was that? And why was the eyes? The eyes look creepy. I would have, like, I don't know if that was the camera, but if that's what it looked like, just staring at it, that door would have closed so quick for me.
I've seen that video.
It wouldn't even been a hello. It was like, oh.
I've seen that video so many times. What the hell is that?
I do not know.
Nightmare fuel.
She wants to come in then.
Ah!
You have been consistently lied to your entire life, and the biggest source of some of the most unprovoked lies is school. School really told us that this dude in '92 discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than they ended up being. That writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken.
Fly traps and everything. I think about that. I always think about the little space movie. It was like an old '80s movie. I cannot remember, like, there's only two scenes I remember from it, but it was about like a giant plant that was basically eating humans.
Venus human trap.
Mm-hmm. Ah, man, I can't remember the name of it. If you guys remember the name of what I'm talking about, put in the comments. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. But there's a part at the end. It was almost like a musical comedy, masked as a horror. And there's a part at the end where when they find out that he's not from Earth, he's like singing a song called "I'm Just a Mean Green Mother from Outer Space." It's hilarious. It's like one of the like old '80s movies that's like definitely worth the watch for a good laugh. That's what that just reminded me of.
Dude, better be. That just sounds whack.
It is. It's wacky. like you don't take the movie seriously at all. You watch it and it's just like, what the hell?
Like most movies I watch.
But the fact that he brought that up is hilarious.
Discovered America, that quicksand and giant Venus flytraps were way more of an issue than they ended up being. That writing in cursive was the only way you'd ever be taken seriously.
Hate cursive.
And my personal favorite, whenever a teacher would say,
"Oh man, you thought you hated it?" When I was a kid, that's when they was acting like it was going to be the thing.
No.
at least when you went to school, it was like we had already kind of moved past it. So they weren't stressing it so hard.
You know what's formatted now? We use computers and texting documents, and you know what's formatted there? Times New Roman. That's called print, boy.
But see, when I was in school, computers were just coming up, and you still had people walking around like, if you can't write in cursive.
Can't write in cursive what?
And I was even saying it then. Cursive is meaningless.
What's the point?
Even my mom, even your grandma used to get on me hard about, oh, I need to work on my cursive and everything.
It's like, I know how to write in cursive. I know how, but I don't.
And it's like when people, and I've heard people complain about it too, and I'm just like, dude, you have to realize, it's just like the nail and hammer chiseling stuff. Old methods fade away. We have newer, better ways now.
this won't slide in college. Whole time, your calculus professor at 5 p.m. can end up your beer pong partner by 11.
For real.
There's one mistruth that insists on being spread, and before we get to that, story time. So back in the 70s, ornithologists noticed something pretty disturbing, even for them. Fola is a remote island over 200 miles off Scotland, and for generations, migratory birds, specifically Arctic terns and one of the ops of happy feet, the skua, use it as nesting grounds to raise their chicks. And a group of ornithologists noticed a gruesome trend of chicks with pretty graphic injuries. Some chicks looked like they had a leg or two ripped off. For others, the same, but with their wings. Some chicks even had their heads divorced from their body, for sure irreconcilable.
Crazy.
And while some of the chicks somehow survived being mutilated, scientists had no idea what was causing this sudden rise in amputees. At first they guessed otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to...
The hell, man? What the hell?
There he goes. Amputees.
The hell is he talking? What is he yapping about?
Oh, that was wrong. I love it though.
Certified animal yapper. Stupid.
Amputees. At first they guessed otters or even hedgehogs, but it turned out to be neither. You wanna know what it was? I Promise you, you'll never guess it. I'll even give you a chance to try. Comment what you think. I bet you're wrong. The answer? Sheep. Yeah, sheep. Scientists observed grazing sheep stumble across a defenseless chicken without a second thought or really even much of a prequel, grab them, and eat them. Sometimes a sheep would snap off a leg for a premature drumstick. Other times it might grab one by the head and initiate a permanent separation, swallowing skull and all whole. From 1970
he really did that.
80.
You'd have thought. Who'd have thought?
He actually just did that.
I mean, is it because of their territory or like where these particular sheep are at? Because I do know, like, cause, I love watching all kinds of animal videos. Mm-hmm. I do know that there's a specific breed of deer that, because of where they live at, the foliage that deer normally eat doesn't grow for them, so they can't get those nutrients through the plants. So instead, they catch and eat bat wings, which is really crazy. But I haven't seen footage of it. I don't know how they catch it with they flying. How are so many flying creatures getting caught by things on four legs that can't jump that high?
Y'all are trash.
I mean, I can see you talking about cats that got crazy acrobatics, but deer and sheep, yeah, y'all really are trash.
They don't climb
for real. Oh man, but the fact that the deer, I guess it means sheep can do it too.
Sometimes it might grab one by the head and initiate a permanent separation, swallowing skull and all whole.
Crazy.
From 1973 to 1980, nearly 700 baby birds have been victimized by the business end of a carnivorous Q-tip. In the grand scheme of things, that's only a dent in the thousands of birds born in that time. Then again, nobody expected sheep to be involved in foul play, and that goes back
foul play, bro.
Why?
Come on, man.
The puns are gonna keep coming. I already know.
Why?
So in science class, we were taught this rule: herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat meat, and those with culinary commitment issues are called omnivores. And for a lot of us, that's where it ended. But of course, nature's more complicated than that. It's like a spectrum, and on one end you have obligate herbivores, as in they're obligated to eat just plants or starve to death. Here you got animals like koalas, sloths, and the dead-eyed plush toy, the bear cuscus. Then you have the same concept but obligate carnivores, like cats, of every kind. And smack in the middle are your omnivores. But there's also facultatives, and basically that means most of the time you'll find them at one end, but every once in a while they'll borrow a meal plan from the other side. Polar bears are hypercarnivores, with most of their calories coming from seals, but rarely they'll switch it up to berries, seaweed, moss, and even straight up grass, which makes them facultative carnivores and not an obligate like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores. I promise it's gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality trait is being a bamboo merchant. But every once in a while...
I'm a yin-yang yogi.
What in the hell? Why?
The jokes, I swear.
Like a lion. And since we're already on bears, pandas are a good example of facultative herbivores. I promise it's gonna get less complicated, but the yin-yang yogi's defining personality trait is being a bamboo merchant. But every once in a while, they surprise us, like when this panda was caught in 4K eating a past tense wildebeest, or when the DreamWorks jockey chased, caught, murked, and ate a peacock. They've also been known to hunt pikas. That's a pika. So even though most of what goes down its gullet is bamboo, protein in the form of meat is never really off the table, which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not the only ones. Almost the opposite. Almost every herbivore you can think of is actually facultative.
I mean, it's kind of weird with pandas though, because being bears, the bamboo that they eat is literally like the worst dietary choice for them.
So bad.
It's like mind-boggling how they even pick that up in their own evolution. Like, what made them want to start eating that as opposed to the meat that they should be eating?
Dude, what made y'all so trash?
For real.
Because it's not like the bamboo is helping them. It's
no, they literally spend almost as much energy eating the food as the energy they get from eating the food. So it's like just a never-ending cycle of constantly having to eat.
I know whenever they eat a peacock, they feel great.
Imagine you wake up, you tired and hungry, and you eat something. You're kind of not hungry anymore, but you're still tired and you still ain't got no energy, so you got to continue eating.
And then you just sleep.
Pretty much. That's
I would hate myself.
And they do it by choice. They could very well just not eat it and eat meat and everything else that would be better for them.
Because they're bears.
Because it's just wired in them. They're pandas. I don't know.
which makes them facultative herbivores. And they're not the only ones. Almost the opposite. Almost every herbivore you can think of is actually facultative, even the ones you wouldn't expect. That's how the Good Vibes vegan aqua blimp has also been known to snack fish from nets for themselves. Then you got the normally vegetarian shell jockey the tortoise, turning a rabbit carcass into a cookout. They've also been known to plot on and consume.
That brings new meaning to the whole turtle versus hare story. Because I'm like, how did a group of turtles in real life catch a rabbit? I mean, he had to have been dead before they got there. But if it turned out that they caught that rabbit slipping,
they ate
you know his other rabbit homies are talking stuff, right? Especially you got caught by a turtle. Benny last week got caught by a lion. You got caught by a turtle. What?
You're cooked.
In the laughing stock of your whole rabbit family.
And you're dead too. Oh, as soon as they meet you in them pearly gates, you're cooked for eternity.
For real.
Tortoise, turning a rabbit carcass into a cookout. They've also been known to plot on and consume unlucky birds. To be fair, if you can literally fly but get taken off a census by a mobile boulder, it's more about you than him. It was even that time India released 25,000 flesh-eating turtles to deal with the whole corpse population problem in the Ganges. It didn't work, by the way. But by far, the biggest culprit of covert carnivory are deer. The same deer that's usually the poster boy for the middle child of the food chain.
I was just talking about this.
Occasionally get calories from something like a past tense bunny. A couple years ago, researchers wanted to see just what happens to the human body after the soul evacuates, and basically set up these body farms to see how they decompose. As you can probably guess, photos would go viral featuring deer chewing on human bones, scavenging through the man-made remains like vultures. In 2015...
Not smart. Tell me where is that again? Because I don't want to go anywhere near there, because now you done gave these deer a taste of human flesh. It ain't gonna be just a matter of time before they start coming at us for real.
you gonna have your nearest blick on you.
For real. The deer hunters gonna have to be out there getting licensed to just go and murder.
They're not gonna be poachers though. It's gonna be the hunter exams, but it's just deer.
For real. We about to, man. Don't turn us into Australia, man.
NDKA type shit.
Don't turn us into Australia. We end up losing a war to deer and stuff.
Nah, Australia losing a war to emu is fucking bonkers.
For real.
That shit is ridiculous.
On human bones, scavenging through the man-made remains like vultures. In 2015, researchers in North Dakota set up nest cams for a 24-hour live stream of the hatchlings, and not only did the footage catch deer enjoying an extremely late-term omelet, the servants actually outdid the foxes and weasels in that.
That's so wrong. That's
late-term omelet. Yo.
That's so wrong.
The ones you'd expect that from. And it wasn't just them being opportunity merchants. Some of those deer went out of their way to get to them. And in Canada, scientists were looking to study different species of birds and so trapped them using mist nets, only for the unhinged ruminants to stroll in and eat the trapped and struggling birds alive, right out of the nets. Growing up is realizing Bambi would have 100% turned on Thumper if times got tough. Nutrient deficiency and a food shortage is really all it takes for an animal to go from herbivore to fernivore. One thing about animals, they don't care. A deer not finna pass down a chance for easy protein just because a textbook says they shouldn't. The twist is, almost every herbivore on Earth is facultative, meaning they'll take a page out of a predator's playbook if circumstances call for it. That's how you get normally docile horses treating baby birds like popcorn chicken, or that time cows in Australia were caught slurping pythons like fruit roll-ups, all because they were apparently feeding for phosphorus. Even giraffes, yeah, they're not safe either. The verticality merchants of the motherland will often feed off the bones of other animals. Not really swallowing them, but more like licking and sucking on it, pause. So there's a lot of nutrients like calcium and phosphorus. There have also been cases of the camel leopard cosplaying antelope snatching up birds to feed on their misfortune. So far, we've learned 3 things. 1, most herbivores are about as vegetarian as their options. 2, baby birds are really the Kit Kat bars of nature. And 3, now you see why Marty did it.
That's ridiculous. Baby birds are just
the Kit Kat bars of nature. That's so wrong.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Oh man, that's too much.
Everything in his power to get him out of there. His entire friend group would have had his hide if it got to that point. Which of course brings us to hippos, and this is where things get complicated. At this point, it probably surprises exactly none of you that the 4-legged assassination cetacean can have a hankering for flesh. Hippos have been seen eating carcasses and even resorting to cannibalism. It's complicated because for a while we thought it was the same deal as before, just animals switching it up when their primary food source is compromised, which would make
there's no surprise considering they have the highest body count of humans for large animals.
Hippos aren't.
And that's per year. It's like they continue to keep that record.
Hippos are fucking murder water horses.
Pretty much.
They're dangerous.
Hippos, facultative herbivores, there's that word again. Except more and more scientists are coming to the conclusion that hippos eating meat aren't just scavenging or being opportunists. It's just hippos hippoing, as in hippos will put themselves in a position to catch a body and subsequently feed on it. There have been reports of hippos murking livestock and seemingly predatory assaults, and some even believe hippos will purposely park themselves in a river migrating animals have no choice but to cross, just so they can turn the casualties into calories. Sometimes that involves punking crocodiles out of food. And of course, you already know, hippos are not above feeding off friendly fire. All this means hippos might not even be herbivores at all, but identify closer to the omnivore side of the spectrum. And that's why it's complicated, because now you're probably asking, what's the difference between a facultative herbivore and a straight up omnivore? And there's an answer. I just really couldn't tell you. Like, you could say facultatives eat mostly plants but can resort to meat as a fallback, where omnivores can normally go either way, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't just make that up on the spot. But moral of the story, it's way more complex than just putting labels on things and calling it a day. For example, that is a common duiker, and it's an antelope less than 2 feet tall found in sub-Saharan Africa. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the only antelope that regularly eats meat. Along with the shrubs and grasses you'd expect, the meal plan for this antelope undertaker often involves combing through corpses, along with lizards, frogs, small rodents, and, you guessed it, baby birds. And because a good percentage of their diet requires other animals to die with the T silent, I'd call the duiker an omnivore. But then, you got this. The tree-loving, pretty privileged acorn hoarders of the rodent world. Many will tell you that with a grocery list of mostly plants, fruits, nuts, and seeds, the squirrel is mostly herbivorous. But squirrels are also infamous for raiding birds' nests and turning creamy poultry into protein.
I know about that one.
Yeah, they do this a lot. On occasion, you'll see squirrels pack up chickens and snakes. There was even a story of a
Snakes?
Wait, yo, was that chicken just chilling out on some KFC right there?
Boy knows what he eating.
He said, I'm getting the extra crispy.
He said, yo, this tastes familiar. I like this.
He was like, yo, what's better than bird? Bird, after humans got a hold of it. Look at this, man, them seasonings.
This shit is delicious.
I mean, he knows who his new hangout spot is.
KFC changed this man's life.
There was even a story of a pack of Russian squirrels ganging up on a stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive, each scurrying off with their share of flesh. Yeah,
wow.
Not so now. They're not.
He can never go back to the dog park after that one. Did they actually, wait, did you say that they finished him off?
He died.
There was even a story of a pack of Russian squirrels ganging up on a stray dog and eviscerating the canine alive, each scurrying off with their share of flesh.
Yep. As a dog, how you get packed up by a bunch of rodents?
That shit is that's kind of bonkers. That's
crazy.
Nature is weird.
Crazy. Imagine being the dog owner. He's like, oh yeah, he about to protect my lawn.
No.
Go out the next day and he got packed up by a bunch of squirrels.
You just see his ass on the lawn, cooked.
I know the owner had to have been so mad and confused at the same time.
I would've. Me too.
Alive, each scurrying off with their share of flesh. Yeah, not so cute now. They're not the only rodents that go rogue either. Normally, grass-eating prairie dogs have been known to savage baby ground squirrels, and on rare occasions, even eat the remains. And in case you're curious, they do this by shaking the baby violently until their existence gets revoked. That's not even the worst rodent fact in the chamber. In 1995, a 43-year-old woman was found deceased in her flat with facial lesions and lacerations, and the fact that she was naked from the waist down. First responders thought it was a special victims unit kind of crime. Except it was later determined that she had expired to pneumonia. The desecration of her corpse was caused by her pet golden hamster. Not only did the pet feed on her vacated vessel, law enforcement would find the hamster's makeshift burrow containing human skin, flesh, and muscle tissue.
Wow.
That shouldn't even really be a surprise since hamsters are known cannibals, but what you might not know is that sometimes it can be caused by corn. Researchers at the University of Strasbourg found this out by accident when they tried to figure out why the female hamsters under their care kept dominating their own children. Through some likely traumatizing trial and error, they figured out that just a corn diet was leaving the hamster missing crucial vitamins, specifically B3. They figured that out because once they added B3 back into their diets, the mother hamsters suddenly remembered how to mother. And the crazy part is, that can happen to people. Vitamin B3 deficiency can lead to pellagra, a disease associated with diarrhea, dermatitis, dementia, and eventually dying. So in a weird twist, an unbalanced diet can really lead to spawn-wrecking rodents, and they're not the only known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example.
It's mainly because animals instinctively know what they need. And to an extent, we do too. So, if you have a salt deficiency, your body feels it. If, you have too much sugar, your body feels it. So for animals, they feel it and then just respond. What's the fastest way for me to get what I need?
People.
And sometimes it's their own offspring. That's just nature being nature.
We would too if we had to.
We have. Humanity as a whole has many, many times before.
Known cannibals in nature. Chimpanzees are a great example of animals don't care. Chimps have been known to de-life their rivals and devour the body. Now, to us, it's horrific and it makes chimps the spawn of Satan. To a chimp with no legal system or a sense of morality, just a will to live, it's common sense, murking your rival to protect your food supply and not letting easy protein go to waste. And before you judge, early humans reportedly made the brains of terminated children a somewhat regular part of their diets. But I think people forget chimps aren't just violent pseudo-vegans, they're legit predators.
Nah, chimps are scary.
Yep, humans are slightly kind of scarier and everything because, we found proof of ancient caves, cavemen, and fossils and stuff, and was able to find that, if a child, I don't know, it's not like we have records of back then, so we don't know what the condition of the child was. We would like to assume that the child was probably sick and then they knew it was going to die anyway. Hopefully, they were thinking at least on that scale and not just killing children just to eat their brains, but cavemen were doing that.
Ridiculous.
Makes you sometimes wonder how you even got this far.
As in, they'll work together in coordinated attacks on prey like colobus monkeys, which, isn't all that different from getting disemboweled by a pack of Olympic-level parkour zombies. They've also been known to hunt bush babies, that's a bush baby, by using spears. But with all the chimp carnage on this channel, them having carnivore tendencies should really be no surprise. The plot twist is, even the pacifists of the great apes can be on predatory timing. Most people, including me about 2 weeks ago, see orangutans as a good vibes hippie vegetarians of the primate world. Which is almost true. Ginger apes eat mostly the stuff you'd expect, fruits, figs, leaves, maybe some termites to go with bird eggs. But then you got this, an orangutan tearing apart a slow loris. The same one known for being venomous, which orangs figured out how to neutralize by using the loris's natural weakness. Blunt force trauma in the form of a bite through the skull. Now, to be fair, a meat-eating man of the forest is remarkably rare. But then again, chances are, before this video, a good number of y'all probably thought orangutans were only a threat to pieces of fruit. The same way a lot of people feel about toucans. While this roided-up woodpecker, which is actually what toucans are, the more you know, has also been known to put bats on permanent leave from life. Yeah, that's the part Fruit Loops commercials ain't show you. They're also one of the many animals on the list of population control for baby birds. Oh, you thought that was a mammal thing? Well, toucan play that game. Yo, who wrote this? I did. I wrote it.
Toucan play.
Toucan play.
Toucan Sam going crazy over there.
Oh man. Yo,
you got debated, bro.
The many animals on the list of population control for baby birds. Oh, you thought that was a mammal thing? Well, toucan play that game. Yo, who wrote this? I did. I wrote it. I'm sorry. But birds in general will eat virtually anything that doesn't pack them up in the process. Seagulls have been seen scarfing down squirrels with zero remorse. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one person in the world down a dog thanks to this flying antichrist. But the biggest example of feathery f***ery is what happens on mountains. Yo!
Yeah, I'd be pissed off that happened to me.
Hell no.
I'd be so mad.
I would have that seagull on.
Just that image right there says it all.
When I tell you, I would have permanent beef with a seagull
for the rest of your life.
And I mean that I would remember that seagull's exact, how many feathers he had on his ass. Next time,
just waiting for like, where's a rock at? This mother.
Ricky, you stop hiding. You hide it forever. Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky, it's gonna be on sight.
In the world down a dog thanks to this flying antichrist. But the biggest example of feathery is what happens on Malchus Island. This is where we go full circle. This island off the coast of South Africa is a nursery for the thousands of Cape Gannets nesting here, which would probably be a good idea if someone ain't snitched to the pelicans, because a population of white pelicans started traveling to Malchus just so they can swallow gannet chicks whole, often right in front of their parents. And if one was unlucky enough to have both parents out at sea, that's just an easy lick for this Attack on Titan pterosaur. It gets worse when you realize the half-digested, fully molested baby birds often end up being regurgitated for the pelican progeny to eat. And you thought they just ate fish. Predators come in many forms, and one island in the Pacific is home to one of the most unlikely. Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs. Not only is this satanic manifestation in the form of crustacean attracted to blood, they're more than enthusiastic scavengers. In a study done on Nicomoraru Island, it took the homicidal hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass down to the bones. But with pinchers strong enough to humble a coconut, the killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own prey. Especially when
pinchers strong enough to bust a coconut? That means pinchers strong enough to take your fingers off.
Yo, God, what'd you do this one for? Yo, what the fuck, bro?
Like, what was that about? Why does this thing have to?
Why did you put this? Why did this come out the drafts, bro? Nah, bring it back to that picture on the trash can.
For real, like, what happened here? That doesn't even look like, you'd see a crab and be like, man, that looks good to eat. That don't even look like it might be good to eat.
No.
Nothing about that looks like no.
I don't like this. Like, just go back to the picture with the trash can. Before
capable of catching their own prey, especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This video was taken of a crab.
No, go farther back.
The hollow bones of a sea.
You went forward.
Where?
You went forward.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. It was before this.
What?
Like, start from here.
Going from where?
Just start from right here.
Okay.
And you thought they just ate fish. Predators come in many forms, and one island in the Pacific is home to one of the most unlikely. Because if you bleed on the wrong island, you can attract a pack of coconut crabs. Not only is this satanic manifestation in the form of crustacean attract...
What the fuck?
For real. That is like, I don't know what.
This was not a good idea. That means that's like my height. That's like,
it's like, think about the
bottom of the feet to like my hips, bro.
Like, that trash can looks like it's about the same height as our trash can in there.
That's like to my hip.
Pretty much.
No, thank you.
And look at the size of that pincer. That fingers are coming off if he catches you.
Your hand might come off.
Sure, I don't know about your head. It doesn't look like it's that big, but probably be able to cut a nice little hole open.
You will die.
You'll clip an artery for sure.
You could.
Into blood.
Nah.
They're more than enthusiastic scavengers. In a study done on Nicomoraru Island, it took the homicidal hermit crabs a week to completely undress a pig carcass down to the bones. But with pinchers strong enough to humble a coconut, the killer crabs are more than capable of catching their own prey, especially when they can climb trees and ambush sleeping birds. This video was taken of a crab after it had snapped the hollow bones of a seabird. The part you don't see is where a group of crabs arrived at the injured and incapacitated avian and proceeded to tear the bird apart. They've also
he died really quickly.
Holy shit. Maybe even humans. Because a grisly theory on the disappearance of Amelia Earhart was that a cluster of crabs got to her before anyone else could. And the worst part, there's no guarantee she was relieved from life by the time they got to her. Because even though Mr. Krabs on creatine normally goes for fruit, just like most animals on Earth, they're only as vegetarian as their options. Hug your loved ones, stay safe out there, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, speaking of which, my eye's fine. I got LASIK, so I look like I lost the fight, but I also got the gift of sight, so it's alright.
To be honest, I want to do LASIK too. So get on him. Hold on, we got more? They're trying to get the fish out of his mouth? Like give him back my fish?
Yo, let go, bro.
Oh, he's got a hook in him.
That's...
Wow.
Yeah.
We're saving the pelican.
Go.
Oh, he was choking on the fish. He tried to get something too big.
Bernie, are you okay? He's feeling much better now.
Now he's gone.
Shoot, lucky you had somebody to save you from being stupid.
Nah, that crab shit is ridiculous. God.
That is. Out of all the things on here, the crab was what messed me up the most.
Why is it that big?
Why is it that big? Why is it that strong?
And why does it like blood? What?
Seriously, we got vampire crabs now.
Yo, I don't know where that lives, but I'm happy it's not here.
Oh man, whatever island. I didn't even hear which island. I don't know. You know, he said because he said, well, depending on which island you're on. So I'm just like,
not this one. I don't live on no island. I'm good on that.
like, stay away from the islands. Don't want to attract them. Oh man. All right, y'all. That was crazy, but y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see us react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already, alright? So, till next time, take care of yourselves. And we're out of here.
Bye.